my manager Matt, who I'm still managing, who's still managing me now, he had the same reaction when he came round. He came round to my flat. Because I remember him. I think he's talked about this on mental health panels, but he had the same sort of reaction where he came round and I was just sat on my couch, and I think in his head he was like, surely we don't need to. I had texted him and said I need to cancel shows. I need a few months off, or I can't do this anymore. And he was like, he's probably just having a meltdown, you know what I mean? Like, sort of, not like dismissive, but I've been honest about mental health stuff with him before, you know, blah 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 blah. But he's probably going, all right, well, okay, let's see where we're at. And then as soon as he came round, he looked straight me in the eye and went, yep, yeah, I'll cancel them all. You need to get yourself sorted. Right. So I don't know what I look like. I often avoid looking in the mirror when I'm like that, but I don't know what it properly troubled him. So I must have looked like The Exorcist or something. I don't know. My head was spinning around, but it was clearly quite visible. Oh. You know what I mean? Which I suppose in a way it's a good thing, in some ways, because
he can understand it because he can visually see it.
Yeah, I think it shocked him in a way that sort of spurred a sort of reaction which was beneficial to me in a way. I think being when it's a very easy thing to hide, which it is a lot of the time, that's when it can manifest and be dangerous if you're not addressing it. So
it can come out physically, can't it? Like you say.
Mm.
Yeah, that must have been hard for your manager to know what to do, like how to. I bet he really felt like he wanted to support you beyond like cancelling the gigs, but you know, there's only so much a manager can do.
He still is. I know I can be very difficult to deal with just because I'm pessimistic and being sort of, he's northern, he's Scouse, or from Liverpool. He's not Scouser, but
Scouser, fellow Scouser.
Yeah, Everton fan, so he hates me saying that, but I call him a Scouser all the time. So yeah, but we've got sort of, he banters me all the time for being miserable, you know what I mean? But I'm quite like just pessimistic, and that's my sort of humour as well. So I will talk on a very matter of fact. We'll just go, this is shit. So we've got good banter around it, but he's very supportive. Because I think what was I've not seen the Avicii film or the documentary, because I saw the trailer and I didn't want to watch it, and I still don't want to watch it because there was one.
It's a hard watch.
There was one clip that I saw where I don't know if it was his manager or if it was his team or whatever. Some guy, he was basically saying, I want to cancel the show, and the guy's like, well, all the fans you're going to let down. I'm like, the fucking worst thing to say to someone in that situation. And saying, we're going to have to. I didn't have that. Matt was just like, instantly, don't matter, I'll sort it. Don't worry about it. And I went, I want to apologise, or I want to put a post up. And he was like, do whatever you want, but don't feel like you have to. We can just put something up if you don't. And then that's when I wrote the post out, because I wanted to be honest, because I didn't want to be like, I wanted to be completely honest why I was cancelling the shows. Because there was two before. There was one in Paris, I think, and one in Dublin. I think the Dublin one was with Shadow Child. Promoters that I played for a bunch before, really nice guys. And I remember, I think that was the first one where I couldn't play. So I got there and I was, and they had sort of similar reaction when they sort of, they was like, buddy, this is like, make sure you're alright and stuff. And they were really great, but I felt awful for having to cancel it, and I felt like I should like wait till the end and, you know, like just apologise to people on the way out. So I've always wanted to so I had them 2 gigs obviously, but this was like a full 6 months. There was Asian tours, there was an Asian tour, there was a good 6 to 8 months full of shows, like there was a lot. So I felt like I wanted to be honest about it, and then I didn't obviously expect the post to blow up the way it did. I think that's not why now my Facebook algorithm was absolutely rubbish after that, is because it organically reached like 1.5 million people, and Facebook went, well, if you can do that on your own, we're not helping you. So after that I couldn't, just nothing. But Facebook sort of went downhill in that respect anyway. But yeah, it is so ridiculous.
So it had a lot of reach in it. Did you have did you get a really nice response from that message then when it went out?
Yeah, no, I'd say 99%. And it sounds so cheesy, but I was in such a bad way. I wasn't really leaving the house, apart from therapy and like shops and stuff.
Yeah.
But I would genuinely sit through and read comments from that, because it was just nice to hear. And so the comments that really resonated as well with people saying they've gone through the same stuff or similar stuff, and little bits of advice, and just the reaction it got. There was a few negative ones, obviously, but they didn't really affect me as much, just because the overwhelmingly, and yeah, I didn't expect it to reach that. And obviously there was articles in several different newspapers and stuff by that point, which sort of amplified it. And yeah, it was one of them things where it sounds sounds corny, but it definitely helped me through some days where I was just feeling horrible. So I went back and just read them, and then just trying to stay positive. It was not positive, but just trying to like stay grounded with it.
Yeah, well, you have to recover during that time. Obviously, that's why you need to take the time out. And I can imagine, like, you know, when you've got those kind of tours, the pressure and the realisation that, oh, I don't feel like I'm, you know, up for this. That must have been really hard for you to actually say that to your manager. I know you've got a really, like, understanding, cool manager, but I can imagine, like, artists generally would feel that pressure.
Yeah, I think so when I did the... I can't remember if it was the first or the second one. I think it was the first one. The Pioneer film. I don't know if you've seen that. They did a film on mental health.
I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been in two of them now. The second one was more around social media, I think. I can't remember which one it was. Anyway, there's a YouTube comment on one of them. Obviously, I went and read the YouTube comments, more out of interest than anything, you know. And there was a guy saying, "Well, if you don't feel like you can do that many gigs, why are you saying yes to them?" But I think it's surely the same for any self-employed person. It's very, very hard to turn down work because you only know what you've got booked in. And as we've just seen as a world, it can come to a halt so quickly. And then I didn't have savings because my savings got used up taking the time out, and then it was very slow to sort of get back, and I was still living in London, which is not an easy place to save money. So yeah, COVID completely wiped out, and I had to move back home. So it can easily, so that's the pressure, is that you can easily say to yourself, right, I'm going to have these boundaries. I'm only going to do 4 gigs a month, 1 weekend on, 1 weekend off, 4 gigs a month. But then you get an offer for a good amount of money to play a really cool festival on the weekend that you said you were going to have off. Not many people turn that down. It's because you don't know how long this is going to last. I'm incredibly lucky to do what I do. I don't even know if I'm going to get back to it full time yet, because what I've got booked in so far is a few. I'm really enjoying the gigs that I've done so far, but I'm obviously not back on that level of doing the a lot of my gigs were European gigs, which are obviously still a bit more difficult to do these days with different restrictions and stuff.
Yeah.
And Australia, which I haven't been able to go back and do yet. So you don't know when it's going to stop. So you are under immense pressure to say yes to things. And not just from managers and stuff, and obviously, as I mentioned, that clip was awful to see. And I think that most managers would be completely understanding if you said no to stuff, or if you just... But agents are also trying to make money, promoters are trying to make money, so there's a whole complex thing there that and then you don't want to be the person that says, I don't think I can do that. So the boundaries I'm setting for myself now is more based around the travel thing. Saying that if I'm doing one gig and it's quite a distance, I'm not going to do a gig the next day. I can't do the early... Unless there's a perfect travel, I don't want to do any more 3-hour sleeps. If it's a late night, I want an afternoon or evening flight, and I want a late checkout, and I want to be able to just take my time, because I realised that was a big part of why I was so sort of burnt from it all, was just relentless